Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another incredible, exciting, stupendous, I already said scrumdiddlyumptious on Wednesday for the new year, so I'm not going to use that one again. Beauty Miss? There we go. Beauty Miss.
I don't think that's a word.
I don't care. I'm going with it, Mike. I'm going with it.
Okay.
Episode of the Real Film Nerds Podcast. My name is Matt, and as you heard, there's my good buddy, my mentor, my long-distance drinking buddy, Mike Talent, who is no longer mysterious.
Oh, man. I'm no longer mysterious. Okay. Just Mike Talent.
154 episodes in, you are not mysterious anymore. I'm sorry. Everybody knows who you are. They know your quirks, and they know what rock concerts you go to.
Oh, all right. Dang it.
So, Mike, for Real Film Nerds Podcast episode number 154, we are doing a Tributary. What movie are we talking about, Mike? Or shall I say, Michael?
So nice, Matt. Nice segue there, Matt. We are talking about Six Underground. And this movie is found on Netflix.
On the old internets.
Yeah. Do you want me to start the rundown, Matt?
Sure, Michael. Why not give us the rundown for Michael Bay's Six Underground?
Yes. So, like Matt said, this movie is directed by Michael Bay. Its writers are Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese. It's starring Ryan Reynolds, Melanie Laurent, Manuel Garcia Rofel, Ben Hardy, Andrea Arjona, Dave Franco, Corey Hawkins. And for the summary, Matt, I wrote this one again, so I think you're gonna like this one.
I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to this segment. You need to start sending these to me so I can put them on the website instead of just copying and pasting our unofficial sponsor of the Real Film Nerds Podcast, Information World, the Internet Movie Database.
Ah, okay. Well, so maybe I'll do that after this one. All right, so this is Fast and Furious, but Michael Bay version. A movie about an elite group of people, mercenaries, running jobs, and all the action that happens. That's pretty much it.
With Michael Bay.
No, I said Michael Bay version.
I know, but I'm just trying to get some more Bay in there.
Oh, okay. More Michael Bay.
Yeah, you can never have too much Michael Bay.
Hey, he directed The Rock, which we love.
Welcome to The Rock.
Yes, that was a very good one.
Now, what episode is that, Mike?
Oh, I don't have it off the top of my head. Do you have it? You're cheating. You have it.
No, I don't. No, it comes off like I'm cheating that I have it. No, I don't have it open. And I can't type because I believe in the clicky keyboard. So it'll make lots and lots of wonderful noise that I will have to edit out. So I'm not going to do it.
Ow.
But it's Real Film Nerds episode. Blah, blah, blah.
Are you going to dump over that?
No.
Oh, jeez. I
just said it really fast. Use the Googles like everybody else. Jesus. Nobody thinks anymore. Our brains are now called Google.
Well, yeah. Or Alexa, right?
Yeah. Or whatever the other one is. Your girlfriend. What's her name? Siri?
Yeah, but Siri's not.
Does Mags get jealous because of how intimate you are with Siri?
Yeah. I think so.
Like, Siri, turn down the lights. Siri, play some soft music.
Yeah. Siri, put on Netflix. Six Underground, now!
Siri, order more lotion from Amazon.
Hey, Siri, get me a beer. Nothing ever happens.
Dude, that's horrific. That's the very first thing they should have done with the smart assistants, was create a way that they can bring you beers.
That would be pretty neat. Matt, you remember the movie The Shooter with Marky Mark or Mark Wahlberg?
Yes.
There's a scene in the beginning of the movie where he's in the cabin and he asks his dog to go get a beer, and there's like a towel on the door so he can open the door, and then he grabs him a beer and hands it to him. That was like one of my favorite scenes in that movie.
Yeah, because you wish your dog could do that for you. You need to start working on that. Especially Mags being an animal person, she could train him.
Yeah, we could.
Or
We
is
could.
that why?
Although,
Is that why you're having a kid? So that they can bring you beers?
juice. We call it juice.
Sure, whatever. Wait till they crack that juice open and take a sip for themselves. Okay, fine. Back on topic. Michael Bay,
Michael Bay.
6 Underground. Mike,
6 Underground.
what's the consensus here? Let's go to Mike Talent's magical structure.
All right, Matt. This is Matt where we talk about the technical things in the movie. And so in this part of our segment, we will talk about cinematography and locations, filming locations, and action scenes. Matt, how did you think the cinematography was on this?
I like that. You came up. Did you do that off the top of your head? Because you came off like so canned, like you were reading it, and I can see it in my eyeballs that you are not reading it. Where is that on your computer screen or something? Because that was pretty incredible, Mike.
No, I completely came up with that off the top of my head.
See, you need to do more shit like that. That was amazing, absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you, Matt.
So yes.
So back to the question.
This is definitely the most Michael Bay film Michael Bay has produced in the Michael Bay world to date.
Yes. I was talking to one of my coworkers about this movie, and he was like, he started watching it, not realizing that it was a Michael Bay movie, and he's like, man, this really seems like a Michael Bay movie. I wonder who made this movie. Oh, it's Michael Bay.
Yeah. How can you not tell? Like, literally, there's cars flying all over the place. There's shit breaking apart. There's death, destruction, murder, except for puppies.
Yes.
The puppies survive. But yeah, that 30-minute long car chase in the beginning was amazing. It's so over the top. So over the top, but I love it.
Yeah, the action, the action scenes in this movie I thought were really cool. There's some stuff towards the end where I'm not even exactly sure how they pulled it off, but it looked really cool. I don't want to give away yet when we get to the spoilers. No, the on the ship.
Oh, yes. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to decipher that myself the other day, trying to figure out what they did to create set effects or how they did set effects of said thing that I've never seen done in a movie before.
Yeah. So I think on a technical standpoint, this movie is just, really wows. It's really, really good.
Well, and most of it's practical. Like, I would say 95% of it is practical, even in like the car chase. Sure, like when like vehicles break up in half and people go flying and they, all that shit's kind of CGI. But I think a large majority of this film was practical effects. And I think that's amazing because that's how Michael Bay does it.
Yeah. And Michael Bay is a very visual person. He likes setting up these shots and like we keep saying in Michael Bay film, he definitely has a style and his style is all over this one.
It's very Michael Bay-y.
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very prominent thing. All right. So, Mike, what's next on the structure? Since the technical prowess of this film is incredible. And the cinematography, of course, is beautiful.
Yeah, we talked about the action scenes as well. I think I don't have a ton of notes on this movie, Matt, so...
What am I drinking?
Yes. What are you drinking, Matt?
Well, Mike, thanks for asking. I'm going with a nice traditional beer, one of my favorite cheap beers. As your father pointed out when I was visiting over the holidays, it has no preservatives. It is nothing but the champagne of beers, Miller High Life.
Nice, dude. Nice. Very, very nice. Nice. I am drinking a double IPA or IPA, and it is the Sierra Nevada Hop Bullet.
Hop Bullet.
Hop Bullet.
So, do the hops hit you in the mouth like a bullet?
Yeah, like I think if I have like 2 or 3 of these, I lose teeth.
That's pretty amazing, Mike. You'd have to get dentures.
Yeah.
Then we could call you Toothless Mike Talent. Like
Yeah.
the dragon.
Yes, for sure.
I haven't seen that movie, though. I don't know if it's any good. Okay, so we got what are we drinking? I'm drinking a beer. You're drinking a beer. We got that covered. We got the technical prowess. I guess we could talk about the acting or lack thereof.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about Ryan Reynolds in this movie?
He is one of the actors.
Yes, let's talk about Ryan Reynolds'
He's
part.
not terrible, but he's not great. He's just kind of, he's there.
Yeah, like I don't know. This one feels kind of like he read his lines and he got his paycheck.
Yeah, I think he did better than that, but it's not anything special. It's not like, I don't think he was into it. I think, it was more of this was something to do between Deadpool 2 and Deadpool 3 while Disney and Fox were hashing out their merger. And now the merger's done and they're on the way to doing Deadpool 3 finally.
Oh, they are. I don't think I knew what the current status of Deadpool 3 is. Matt, can you update us?
I don't know if they're in production or not, but I think they're in pre-production. But yes, they did say it is coming out, and it is coming out under a Disney banner. So that'll be interesting. We'll see how that goes.
Rated G?
No, they're trying to. I think that's one of the things they're arguing about is, Ryan Reynolds and everyone else wants to keep it a nice hard R.
Not like a soft R?
No, like a hard R like this one. Like this one, I mean, this is a pretty hard R. The only thing it's missing is nudity. But it does have a lot of TNA. Almost nudity.
Yeah, well, classic Michael Bay.
Right. It's enough to make you satisfied and wanting more.
I think one of the only movies that I've watched of Michael Bay that didn't have like a beautiful woman in it was 13 Hours.
Yeah, that's probably the only one.
Because I think even Pain and Gain with The Rock and Marky Mark had some scenes because they were like working out in Miami. I do believe that Michael Bay either lives in Miami, or just loves Miami to no end.
Well, he has done a lot of films there. And is he doing the new Bad Boys that's coming out?
Yeah, that comes out in January, I believe.
Is
just
it really
a few
January?
weeks.
Oh, I thought it was farther than that. I thought it was maybe in the summer. But interesting.
I think to the internets.
Mike to the internets. While I talk about the rest of the actors. Let's see. There was Melanie Laurent. For those of you who do not know, you might recognize her face. She is from Inglourious Basterds. She is an extremely famous French actress and director. I thought she did quite well in this film. Definitely as a hard-assed, badass female CIA operative person.
Yeah.
And then there was Manuel Garcia Rolfo, and I thought he did pretty well. His character is pretty annoying, but his acting was well. I didn't know if I really liked him constantly quoting movies. The first couple times it was funny, and then towards the end of the movie you're just like, ha, that was funny. Not.
Yeah, it didn't really... Some of those long gags work better. This one just didn't seem to work.
Ben Hardy, I really liked him. I thought he was quite interesting in this film. He was the parkour guy.
Yeah, yep. He had a decent role, and you got a little bit out of him.
His character sucked kind of too in the annoying spectrum, but how he approached it and how it came off wasn't bad. I'm not going to say it was great, but I thought Ben himself did quite well in the film acting. And then Adria Arjona, I think that's how you pronounce it. Adria, it's Jona, but I'm pretty sure it's H. Arjona. Yeah, she was in it, I guess. I don't know. The only time you really see her is right at the beginning of the car chase, and then that's kind of it. And then Dave Franco, I think he was just in it because they needed another recognizable face for however. And then Corey Hawkins. I don't know if I was a huge fan of his character. He's a good actor, though. He was in Straight Outta Compton, right?
Yeah, he's in several movies that we've seen.
He's a good actor, but I don't know if I liked his character and his straight-lacedness and, always having to be the opposite of everyone else. It was like, no, it's supposed to be a team thing. It's supposed to be kind of like almost like a heist movie in a way, you know what I mean? But he was always like the going against the grain, and I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with his acting. It's just the character. So,
yeah. Matt, I looked up Bad Boys for Life. Comes out on January 17th.
well, all right. Looks like I don't have my calendar because I didn't get one for Christmas. But
man.
I think we will probably be doing that because next week, a movie that I'm highly anticipating comes out, or this week, shall I say, not next week, this week, because this is next week's pod, is 1917 comes out on January 10th.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I actually have screening tickets for that, so I'll be watching that on this coming week a little bit early.
You could really stop mentioning that because it's just making me mad, Michael. It's just making me upset. You've told me like 9 times now. Just rub it in my face. Are you going to take pictures of it and send it to me? Let me guess. Or are you going to do like when you went to the concert and take a picture of you and Mag sitting there together? Hey, look where we're at.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm going to start doing that to you. I'm going to start taking pictures of myself doing things and sending it to you. Like, hey, look,
Okay.
Mike, I'm dropping a deuce and send you a picture. How'd you like that?
Ooh, nice. Nice. I prefer shitty selfie Thursdays, I think.
Is that a thing? What?
I don't know. I knew somebody who did it for like 2 years. Every Thursday they sent people like shitter selfies, and like a lot of times it was in like porta pots and like random places.
He'd like go and find different places to take a crap and take a picture of it and send it to his friends. That's amazing. Can we get him on as our other co-host, Mike? But he has to do the entire podcast recording in a porta-john.
I don't know if that'd work out.
Jesus, that was a hard off topic. Like really bad. Shitty selfies. Oh no. Okay, so next week we're hoping 1917, and then we'll do Bad Boys for Life since you brought it up, unless you know if something else is coming out that we have to see.
No, let's see another Michael Bay movie. I imagine this one I'll have a little bit more laughs.
Well, I hope so with the Fresh Prince and Martin Lawrence. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, so what's next in our structure?
I think you asked me about a certain tie-in.
Oh, okay. Are we to that already?
I believe so.
So speaking about shitty selfies, Mike, I'm just going to use that for everything now. So talking about shitty selfies, Mike, how does Six Underground relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, thanks for asking, Matt. So Corey Hawkins, his character, a.k.a. Seven, was in Iron Man 3 as a Navy. It just says Navy op, so I don't know. Navy operations person? I don't know.
Means extra. Iron Man 3, it was probably like one of the times he went to a base or something like that and was working with Rhodey, Colonel Rhodes.
Oh yeah, yep.
I thought you were going to just pull the Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, and Deadpool's now in the Disney Marvel Cinematic Universe, because I don't think they're going to like start over. I think they're going to count Deadpool 1 and 2, but I don't know if they're going to officially accept him into the Marvel Cinematic Universe either. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I didn't say that, because I it's kind of a weird.
Well, that means spoiler time, Mike.
Yes. So Matt, let's talk about that favorite thing that you love to talk about movies, the story.
Or as in this movie, there is no story whatsoever.
Yeah, it's actually pretty amazing. This movie's 2 hours and there's barely any story.
Well, okay, the first half of the movie, there's basically no story. The second half of the movie, it starts developing a story, and then the movie just ends.
Yeah, and like part of the reason that this made me compare it to Fast and Furious, which, if you can believe it, people, has way more story than this movie.
A lot more, yeah.
Yeah. Was there the mention of like, oh, we're family and all this family stuff, but like, I didn't feel a lick of emotion for any of those scenes. Like maybe just a tad. I don't know. Like it was, I don't know.
Yeah, there's supposed to be this badass group of mercenaries because they're not really former military. They're not really former police officers. I mean, the one guy is you find out later, Seven is, that's the whole reason why they brought him in is because he was basically a badass. And there's the chick from the CIA, but they're not really like melding well as a team. Like nobody knows shit about anyone else. Nobody really cares about anybody else. They all, couple of them sleep together and that's about it. And it's just like, I don't, honestly, spoilers again, when Dave Franco's character dies at the beginning, I'm just like, okay, that sucks. He was kind of a big name and he's gone, but I didn't care, and honestly, I wouldn't have cared if Ryan Reynolds' character would have died in the movie. Honestly, it was just, I had no emotional attachment to any of the characters whatsoever. I had no idea why they were taking it upon themselves to overthrow a government. I didn't understand.
Yeah, I'm not sure if some stuff got chopped on the floor or what, but it just didn't really. You're right. Like there is starting to be kind of a story, maybe a halfway or 2/3 through the movie, but then it's like over.
You finally start finding out that Ryan Reynolds is this billionaire that created some shit with magnets, and he sells it to the government and stuff first, and all this other shit, and he's this billionaire from that. It's like, oh, cool. So we're starting to get some legitimate backstory and something I really care about instead of the backstories they presented. Like the backstories they presented were just lame. Like for all the other characters and stuff, they were just half-assed.
And it was kind of a weird way of doing it where in the chase scene that lasts like 30 minutes or whatever in the beginning, it's like it goes into each character that's in the car, like kind of one by one, and it's kind of, I don't know, it was a weird way of doing it. I thought
it was an awful way of doing it. Now I will say I'm biased as hell on this, but one of the scenes that I really loved, even though it was fake as shit, was Ryan Reynolds' character flying Edge 540. I'm pretty sure that was Kirby Chambliss. I'm pretty sure because he was rocking a Red Bull helmet, even though it was Ryan Reynolds. I'm pretty sure it was Kirby Chambliss was flying. And I think that was here, possibly over Lake Mead, but I didn't look up the filming locations.
Oh, cool, man.
Because Kirby Chambliss lives outside of Tucson. He has his own runway. His front driveway on his giant, I don't know how many acres his land is, but probably at least 100 acres. His driveway is basically not a driveway, it's a runway. And
awesome.
He practices his competition flying. He's really well known, not so much for aerobatics. He's mostly known for Red Bull air races. He's one of the handful of Americans that competes in it, but he's a very accomplished aerobatic pilot as well, and I believe he's a full-scale pilot. But anyway, so I figured they probably got him because they're like, hey, we'll give you like a few $1,000 if you fly up here and like hover and do some flips and shit and then fly home kind of thing. But I don't know. I didn't look.
Yeah, no, that was cool. I mean, there's this movie, Michael Bay's definitely got a knack for setting up shots that are like just really pretty. Like he definitely understands how it will translate in film, and he's really good at that. And like the action scenes, most of the action, like you said, is practical, and it was pretty awesome. Most of it.
Well, the car chase, here's a good example of what you're saying is the car chase. I was thinking the whole time, why the hell are they running around in this bright green Alfa Romeo through, I think it was Italy. Was it Italy?
Yeah, I think it was Italy, yeah.
Why are they doing that in this bright green car that sticks out like no other? And I'm like, well, it's not because they picked a green car. It's because Michael Bay's like, that's going to look awesome against all these drab browns and blacks and whites. And he's right. It did. It looked pretty sweet.
There's a couple shots in that scene with like this fountain, and it's like, it's gorgeous. Like, it's just really gorgeous. Like, they do like these donuts and stuff. It's awesome. And I'm like, well, that's a cool shot, but like this story isn't really starting. Like, it was just kind of depressing because like this movie is great for a lot of things, but it has no story, which is like makes the movie kind of throwawayable.
Right. And that's, one of the biggest harps that I always have. And I know you are very similar to me. If the story's garbage, the movie is. I'm sorry. It just is. The visuals, I mean, Michael Bay being Michael Bay is the reason why I gave it the reels that I'm going to give it. But it's still probably too high because, I mean, the story's just crap. Michael Bay, hire the dude that did the Rock story. That was great. It was a good story. It was fun.
Yeah. It was that one was a fun one, and he still got to blow up stuff and have all these spinning cameras and like classic like Michael Bay shots, like the slow motion helicopter blades.
Oh yeah,
like he always has. He tries to squeeze that into I think every one of his movies somehow.
Well, that and the TNA and then the cars flying through the air that are driving on a flat street. Those are like his signature moves.
Yep. So, Matt, I just was thinking about this movie, and I kind of feel like there might be a Reservoir Dogs tie-in with this. So, like, in Reservoir Dogs, all the characters are named, like, Mr. Pink and Mr. Yellow and whatever. In this movie, which is about kind of a robbery gone wrong, in this movie, they're not really robbers as much as, like... I don't even know what to call them. Vigilantes? Maybe even like...
Yeah, mercenaries, but mercenaries do it for money. Well, clearly the other people are doing it for money. So mercenaries or vigilantes, yeah, I think that's pretty decent. Because they're not sanctioned by anyone. They're kind of doing whatever the hell they want, which is kind of a scary thing to think about. That, if I have a few $1 billion, I can go overthrow a freaking government in a country? Nah. Nah.
Yeah. But like all the characters' name were like 1, 2, 3, 4. I almost feel like that's kind of a similar
like a little
thing,
homage to Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, maybe, and like loosely, like.
Yeah, I see it.
I don't know.
I see it.
I was just thinking that.
All right, so I got one I want to discuss, Mike.
Okay.
You alluded to it earlier. The ending scene, the hotel scene in Hong Kong. That hotel was freaking amazing.
Oh, yeah.
With the pool and stuff. Oh, my gosh. That was so cool. And how they shot it. I mean, I really liked it. I really, really liked all those scenes. Really did. I didn't think the final scene, the boat scenes were as strong, but it ended well. It ended really well with all of those things. Okay, go ahead. I'll let you talk about this boat scene. I know you want to talk about that.
Yeah, you're right. That hotel was like awesome. Like everything technical about this movie, as far as like all the setup of the shots and all the practical effects, they were all awesome. It was just the story wasn't awesome.
Yeah, the story's crap. 100% crap.
So on the boat, they have this thing where supposedly they can create these giant magnetic fields and shift everybody's stuff left or, like on one side of the boat or the other. And when they did this scene, or a couple times in the movie when they do these scenes, I don't know how they did it, but it looked really good with like, I guess they had people maybe like on wires and they pulled them all at the same time and like all the metal-y things. I don't know, dude.
They had to have been on wires. Or the other thing I was thinking was maybe, and this is just me thinking it's probably wrong, but they could have done like the old school way where you have like a room that's like on like hydraulics and stuff. And they like, here, let me put my hand so you can see it.
And they turn it?
They turn it like this, or they turn it like that.
Yeah.
But instead of like turning it like slow so everything like falls, they do it like really fast and catch them all really off guard. I don't know. That's the only other way I could really think of. But I think probably it would have been safer to do it with wires.
Yeah, but it looked like when some of the characters are wearing like bulletproof jackets or whatever, and they're lined with metal, they got like sucked onto the thing. It looked like they got magnetized onto the ship's hull or wherever they got put. Like, I don't know. It's kind of, but I thought that was really neat. Like, I was like, I don't know how they did that, but that looked cool.
Well, and that's what I was when you were talking about it a little bit earlier. That's something I have never seen done in a movie. And it was very unique and very awesome and very well done. But again, the story is crap.
Yeah. And I don't know how much this movie cost, but it seemed like it probably cost quite a bit to make because all the effects looked awesome.
Oh, come on, dude. You know, Michael Bay, they gave him a blank check. They're like, here you go.
Yeah. And then, it's like this movie releases on Netflix, and then in the theaters, he's got the new Bad Boys for Life coming out in 2 weeks. So, and this came out about December 17th, I think, on Netflix.
Something like that. It was like
Something
the
like
first
that,
or second week, second or third week of
2019.
December. Yeah, something like that. It's been a couple weeks. It hasn't been out long, but
Yeah.
this one, I have to say, speaking about theaters, this one is one of those ones I really would like to see in a theater just because of all the action and chaos and madness and over-the-top effects. This is one that definitely would have been better, in my opinion, in a theater.
Yeah, I think the colors and some of the effects stuff, like the action, would have been neat to see on a giant screen, like with the digital projectors we have now, and it would have even popped more than our TVs and surround sounds.
Yeah, I mean, it still was good. It was still very entertaining, but I would have loved to see it on the big screen for sure. We don't say that all the time, but this is definitely one of those instances where the action warrants it, especially this. I mean, this is definitely like the most crazy Michael Bay film that Michael Bay has ever Michael Bay'd.
That was a lot of Michael Baying.
I think it's warranted.
Yeah, but like I said, man, my coworker, when he watched this, he's like, man, I was just thinking, whoever made this, like, did they work for Michael Bay or like, do they like, is that his mentor? Because like, this is very, it was Michael Bay.
What, he just didn't notice it was Michael Bay because there was no Transformers?
No, yeah, I think so. No, I think he's just seen all of his movies, and he's like, they're all he has quite the style where he puts everything, like the tones, and like he even made a joke that, because he's a graphics artist, that there's a setting, well, I think it was a joke, there's a setting on one of the softwares that they use that's like Michael Bay, and then like changes all the color saturation and everything.
Oh, it's funny. It's awesome. Okay, Mike. Or Michael. Let's do it. Let's get to the important part, the reason why people tune in. The real reason, other than our banter and talking about shitty selfies.
You really like that. I'm expecting to see quite a few pictures coming.
No. You know me. I'm a big fan of the home field advantage, so it would just get boring after the first one.
Yeah. Should we call you shit break?
Shit break. I am not shit break. If I got to go somewhere, I'll go somewhere, but I try and time my body to, wow. Yeah. I'm just going to stop. I'm not feeding the beast, Mike. I'm not giving you more cannon fodder. No. So, Mike.
Okay. All right.
How many reels do you give Michael Bay's 6 Underground?
All right. So I'm going to give this one 2 reels out of 5.
2 out of 5. I was going to say, how many shitty selfies do you give it? But I stopped myself. 2 out of 5. Well, I'm glad to see we're back to form, Mike.
Oh, no.
I give it more than 2.
Oh, good.
I give it 3 out of 5 reels. I was going to give it 2.5 all day long, but I was like, you know what? Michael Bay really did some awesome effects and awesome blowing up of shit. I have to give it that extra half a reel just for that. Because honestly, this story is crap. It's just dumb and bad and just...
Yeah, I hate to say it, but the movie kind of feels long and stuff because the flow's not really there. It's just, visually, it's just awesome. So, I almost want people to watch it, but like on mute is fine.
No, you can't have it on mute because then you won't have all the sounds and the surround sound and stuff. Maybe just fast forward through the parts where there's no splodies.
Oh, okay. So like about 3 minutes.
No, there's more than that.
Okay.
To fast
yeah,
forward
there's a few minutes, I guess, but
Okay, so Mike, next week, I know you wanted to try and do another Tributary if we can get to it, but you haven't watched the movie. I've watched half of it, so I don't know if we're going to get to it or not. Do you think you're going to watch it tomorrow?
Yeah, I should be able to watch it tomorrow, but I know that you have some things going on, so I don't know. What do you think? Do you think
We could try to record either in the evening tomorrow or on a day during the week, but I know you don't like to do those because of our time changes. But it's a possibility if you want to do it. And we're talking about another Netflix original that is getting lots of award buzz. That's Two Popes. And I think it would be an interesting conversation, especially with you being a Catholic, Mike.
Okay. All right. I will, I should be able to watch it no problem tomorrow, but I think it'll be just a matter of figuring out the time to record.
Okay. Well, we can try and record tomorrow, but it'll be later. That's for sure. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. So if we can, our next pod, we're going to try and do another Tributary of Two Popes. But if we don't get it done, guarantee the one after that will be 1917.
Yes. Super excited to see that World War I movie. And it's also gotten a lot of award buzz. And it was released, I think, on Christmas in select theaters, the New York, LA thing, so it could get awards for last year. So I've been eagerly awaiting, and I know you have too, Matt.
Yeah, World War I is one of those wars that they don't do a whole lot with. It's almost like the forgotten war, even though it was known as the war to end all wars. I studied it quite a bit being a history buff and things. It's fascinating. I don't know if they're going to go much into the history on it. It's more about the story of these two guys, but it's fascinating to think literally before World War I, people were fighting each other on horseback, and they tried to do that a few times in World War I, and it didn't work out so well. It's madness. It's crazy, the things that World War I ushered into the world as we know it, and it's hardly ever talked about, at least in the arts, I guess you'd say. You don't see many films about it. You don't see many TV shows about it. You don't see many video games about it. Call of Duty did, it wasn't Call of Duty, Battlefield did a World War I based shooter, and it was really good. It was really a lot of fun. I have it for my Xbox, and I think maybe Call of Duty did one. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, I'm excited to see more stuff done on World War I, and hopefully this will spawn more. But typically, everybody does World War II.
Yeah, I think it's because we know a lot more. Like, it's been so long now. I mean, it's already
over 100
years.
Right. Over 100 years since the end of World War I. Right. And I think that's one of the reasons why we saw so much World War II stuff, because the Greatest Generation was still with us for a very long time. They're quickly leaving this planet, but the World War I generation, I mean, it really was detrimental. It wiped out millions and millions and millions of people. So did World War II. But anyways, I'll stop. Okay, so possibly Two Popes, definitely 1917. I don't have anything else. Mike, you got anything else you want to jibber jabber about? I mean, where do you think you're going to do your first shitty selfie?
I don't know, man. I'm scouting locations.
Now, if you want to participate in the Real Film Nerds Shitty Selfie Contest, please make sure to email all your shitty selfies to mike@realfilmnerds.com.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait.
Oh, I just got you in trouble, didn't I?
Yeah, man. You just shit on me.
Oh, Mike. See, you're sitting there laughing your ass off, but it's not near a mic. So for those of you who are not watching, which is everyone except for me, Mike is laughing as well. So anyways, all right, I'm done. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop it, Mike. I'm going to stop talking.
Okay. All right. Well, Make sure to follow us on the socials, the Facebook, the Gram, the Twitters, and we'll catch you on the next pod. And yeah, try not to email me too many shitty selfies. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.
Joining me in studio now on Magic 99.1, I have Matt Hinshaw from the Real Film Nerds podcast on Magic 99.1. Did I say that twice?
I don't know.
Okay, it really doesn't matter, does it?
Yes. Say Magic 99.1 3 or 4 times, then you're golden, right?
You know what? In a morning, I probably say it 90 times, but that's my job.
I think we need a count. You need to have someone that's going to call in and tell you exactly how many. Me?
I think you should count tomorrow morning.
I don't get up,
Get up at 6 a.m. and start counting.
Oh, no. No. I have a hard time getting up for this one.
I hear you. All right, so you saw a couple of movies over the weekend?
I stayed home and watched a bunch of Netflix, and it was delightful.
Good. What did you see?
All right, so the two I'm going to talk about, yes, I'm going to talk about two since we're off next week, or I'm off next week.
Right, you are, because I'm off next week.
Because you're off, yeah.
That's right.
Which sucks, because like next week, 1917 comes out.
I know,
and
I can't wait.
That's one of the most highly anticipated films for me.
You'll have to talk about it on your podcast. People will have to tune in.
We'll definitely talk about on that,
all right.
for
And then
sure.
we'll talk about it when I get back.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Okay, what did you see?
So I saw two. I saw Michael Bay's most Michael Bay film that Michael Bay has ever made, called Six Underground, starring Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
And then the other one I didn't know much about, but my co-host talked me into watching it because it's getting lots of Golden Globe and Academy Award buzz, is Two Popes.
Oh, how was Two Popes?
Fantastic.
I'm intrigued.
I really liked it.
Well, Anthony Hopkins looks just like the Pope.
Anthony Hopkins knocked it out of the park, and then Jonathan Pryce.
Yes.
Am I getting his name right?
I think so. He won
Jonathan
Best
Pryce.
Supporting Actor.
He was incredible.
Really?
He was better than Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah?
It was not what I thought it was going to be. I thought they were going to talk a little bit more about, the controversies in the Catholic Church and all that stuff, and that is totally not what it is.
Thank goodness.
It is. There's bits and pieces of it, but it's more about the polar opposites that Pope Benedict is versus
Pope Francis.
Pope Francis. Yeah,
Yes.
I always want to say Francisco, and that's not right.
Right.
But they're complete polar opposites. It's based on true events, but they come together multiple times before Francis and the vote and everything converges, and they talk just constantly. And it's a heavy dialogue film.
Yeah.
But it's gorgeous. It's well acted. It's, again, heavy dialogue, but I like that sometimes.
And it is on Netflix.
It is on
there.
Netflix, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
good. I'm going to
And
watch that one.
Real quick, I give it 4 out of 5 reels.
You do?
I really enjoyed it.
Okay,
yeah, I thought it was
good.
great.
Excellent.
Now, Six Underground, that's another story.
Yeah.
If you like Michael Bay,
Yeah.
you like explosions,
Yeah.
and you like cars flying through the air for no reason.
Right.
And
Who doesn't, Matt? Come on.
honestly, seriously, it is a really, really fun movie. And some of the stunts he does, they're all practical. They are so over the top. It's just incredible. And Michael Bay just he does more realistic-ish stuff in a way. Like, all these car chases and things are blowing up, and he's hitting bystanders and like flying through the air. Like, they don't do that. Like, for some reason, bystanders are magically not there in a lot of action movies.
Right,
Not in this one.
Not in
Michael
this
Bay's
one.
just like, we're gonna take them all out.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So not dialogue heavy, this one. Action heavy.
Six Underground. I think there was a story in there somewhere. Where I don't know.
One big crash, huh?
Yeah, towards the end,
love it.
the story starts coming out, and then the movie ends.
Okay.
So it's just, I can't say it's a great movie. It is one I would have liked to have seen in the theaters instead of on Netflix, just because of all the splodies.
Right.
Because that was just so, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
But the story is just
It's just not
garbage.
there.
And
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest things I rate is the story. So I give Six Underground 3 out of 5 reels.
3 out of 5 reels.
And the only reason it got all the way up to 3 is because of just, you could tell Michael Bay is just, he got a blank check and he's like, let's just do it. So
it sounds like fun to me. I might
it's
check
so
that one
much
out.
fun.
Okay, very good. You guys catch Matt's podcast. It's called The Real Film Nerds, and you can get it everywhere that you can catch podcasts. Thank you for coming in, Matt.
Thanks again, Lisa.
You're welcome.